So what's up, guys? I am here on Dominical Beach in Costa Rica, and I'm kind of testing out a new camera I just got the Sony A6600. I got it to be kind of my second camera. I shoot on normally the A7S, the original A7S. Yeah, that's right. I've had it for like 7 or 8 years, and I haven't really needed to upgrade in a long time. And I didn't think that this would be a huge upgrade because it's actually a cheaper, kind of lower level APC camera versus my full frame A7S, but I'm finding out differently. And I want to tell you why this camera could be even better than some full frames out there. I love this camera so far, and I'm going to kind of test it out a little bit here on the beach and just kind of tell you some things that I like about it. So by far the biggest improvement in the A6600 over my last camera, the A7S, is the autofocus is insane. The A7S was never really known for having good autofocus, and honestly I never really used it that much because I just couldn't trust it. Doing stuff like this without a flip-up screen and really crappy, unreliable autofocus made for a really hard vlog. Now I can actually vlog and trust that it's in focus. Hopefully it's in focus right now. And I can flip up the screen right now and I can see that it's focusing right on my eye, on my right eye right now, and it's like locked on. If I move around, move back here, it's still got me locked on, or if I move really close, it's still got me locked on. So that's a huge improvement, and I've found myself using autofocus a lot more recently in my shoots and being able to actually trust it, which makes my job a lot easier. When I'm doing a shoot where I'm not doing like a ton of artistic like creation with the focus and racking focus and really shooting shallow, oftentimes a lot of my shoots I'm not having to worry too much about that unless it's a really creative project. On those shoots, you know, like a real estate shoot or an event or something, it just makes my job a lot easier, and I can just focus on getting the shots and not getting the perfect, you know, focus, because I can trust that the camera's actually getting it too. And I've noticed that even shooting an S-Log in this camera, the autofocus still nails it, which is insane. And honestly, it was hard to even manually focus it myself when in S-Log on my A7S, so I'm shooting in S-Log form. Another thing that's amazing about this camera is the IBIS stabilization system in the camera. Oops, I just caught myself looking at the screen instead of at the lens. That's something I gotta get used to. But I'm walking backwards right now on a beach and just holding the camera with a little tripod on the bottom. And I think this is gonna be pretty usable footage. Let me just take the camera over here really quick and just walk with it. So this is me walking just very normal down the beach. I'm not trying to walk extra smooth or anything. I'm just walking normal and holding my camera. And this is pretty insane how good it looks versus my A7S, which this would be like shaking all over the place if I was doing this right now. This is without a gimbal, just shooting handheld. So I'm finding that I'm not needing to bring my gimbal with me as much, and my gimbal's kind of gathering dust. I mean, I use it on shoots all the time where I need to get those really buttery smooth shots, but there's a lot of times I don't really need that, and I can utilize 120p or 60p to get those smoother shots. So that's the next thing, is the 120p footage on this is really nice, and I've been using it a lot. Check it out. One thing I just noticed is that I just shot this last clip on accident at 60 frames per second because I still had it set on the slow motion setting. I need to get used to that because my last camera didn't have a dedicated place on the dial. It's called S&Q for shooting slow motion. This is something that generally only cinema cameras have, and it's a really handy feature. All you have to do is set the slow motion settings to what you want. So you choose either 60 frames per second or 120, and then you choose what frame rate you want it to play back at. So in my case, I usually have it play back at 24 frames per second. And I can just have that set so I can just change the dial on the fly and it'll have all the slow motion settings perfectly, and I won't have to change anything, and it'll actually slow the footage down for me in camera. So when I bring it into Premiere to edit, I don't have to do anything to it. It's already slowed down, you know, from 120 or 60 down to 24. It's already in perfect slow motion, and it just makes it really nice for getting quick slow motion shots when you're going between slow motion and regular speed. Much better. Found a nice dipping spot. The beauty of Costa Rica and around where we live is that there's amazing swimming holes everywhere you go. You can literally find a new one every day. So this is actually a new spot we just found up the street from our house. Just to let you know what I'm holding here too, I'm testing out a new lav mic setup I have too. It's just a cheap setup, Ceramonic Blink 500 transmitter, but it's pretty nice for just on the go because I can just clip this on my shirt. It has a lav mic that it comes with as well that you can use that actually is a little bit maybe better quality, but I'm just testing it out without it now to see if it's working good. But what I was saying before when I accidentally shot the clip at slow motion, unless you want to watch it at slow motion, is that the new Sony color science on this camera is probably the biggest difference that I noticed with my older A7S. And if you have any older Sony camera, even like a couple years old, they've improved the color science dramatically. It's the one thing that kind of bothered me about Sony, and I'm sure if you look online, or you've probably already heard about Sony colors being kind of weird or kind of tinted green. It was definitely something that annoyed me, but I could deal with. I could color correct it pretty easily. But the nice thing about this camera now is they really greatly improved that, and it just means less time for me color correcting. This profile I'm using right now is actually a profile I got from a friend that also shoots with Canon, and he figured out a profile to match his Canon camera the best. And I shoot with a friend of mine that I do a lot of jobs with that has Canon, and I was just doing a shoot with him, and I wanted to match my camera to his. And I'm actually pretty amazed at how close this new color science using this profile looks to Canon colors. Maybe you disagree with me, but it's a lot better. It's a big step up from the Sony A7S. But what's really nice about this camera, I have to say, is the size of it. And for the size of it being so small, the new form factor of this camera is amazing. The handle on it is super comfortable and really deep, so you can really easily hold on to it. My Sony A7S has a really like shallow handle, and it's just like you kind of got to like death grip it to even hold it. And doing that all day is pretty annoying. Sorry, there's some dirt bikers riding by right now that are super loud. There's always two strokes sounds in the jungle around here. Yeah, the form factor of this camera is amazing, and being so small, I find myself carrying this camera with me everywhere now, which like really the best camera that you can have is the one that you actually carry with you. And I found myself not really using my other camera more than just, you know, for my professional shoots. So I'm using this camera a lot more now, just shooting like little random everyday things that I can use for social media or my YouTube channel. YouTubing a lot more now. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carl Ray Johnson, and I'm going to be uploading a lot of videos every week. I'm doing tutorials, reviews, travel videos. I'm going to take you along to my actual professional shoots as well. If you didn't check out the one I just went to San Jose and did a fashion shoot a couple videos ago, check that one out. Yeah, just taking you along on this journey of my actually still learning, becoming a better filmmaker, and passing on everything I learned to you guys to learn how to be a better filmmaker. So if you're interested in this camera or the lens that I have on it, it's the 18-135 kit lens that I got with it, which I absolutely love. It's a perfect all-around lens. You can pretty much use it for everything if you're just getting started. and you just want one lens. In the description below, I have a link to that kit that I got, and if you buy it through that link, it's an affiliate link, and you can help support me too. I get a little kickback from any links people use, so please use that if you're interested in this camera. I highly recommend it. It's the best camera maybe I've ever had, because I'm using it more than I've ever used a camera. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm gonna keep hanging out here at the river and enjoy myself, cool off. See you guys next time.